All right, welcome back, everyone. We are at the Bacchus Rendezvous, the 56th Bacchus Rendezvous. We're getting things kicked off inside of the Morial Convention Center. And let me tell you, it's loud in here with all of the sirens.
We had to hold off on beginning the broadcast while the parade is rolling in, only because with the arrival of the NOPD, it does get loud, but then you can see from our shot, they are followed closely behind by the United States Marine Corps. And that kind of officially gets the rendezvous started.
And we've got a long way to go. And let me tell you something, I have to say in years, they've been coming in a little bit early this time, but as you can see really live right now, U.S. Marine Corps Color Guard and Band, and their directors, Staff Sergeant and Brad Rarig, and they formed in November 10th, 1775.
They go back a ways. The Marines first marched to the fifes and drums, and they have been, music has been an integral part of the United States Marine Corps. So as they kind of make the rounds here in the convention center, they're first past the captain's stage. And if you're kind of unfamiliar with how it's all set up, it's kind of a horseshoe in the convention center for the route. And so the captain's platform where we are is kind of the first part of the horseshoe. They'll make a round U-turn and then go past the main stage. And when they're at the main stage is when they will stop and perform the national anthem and kind of get things started here officially.
You know what, and when things get started, we have a lot to look forward to. Many floats that are coming through, some new, some that have been here traditionally.
I love the traditional, but with the festival, it's going to be really nice. Fairs and festivals.
Fairs and festivals. Favorite fair or festival here?
I don't know.
Throughout the state.
No, you know what? Look, the prettiest socks. I'm basically on socks alone because I got a preview of those on Friday morning.
I don't know how you're going to show these. I have no idea.
Wait,
you guys, Chris, if you can get your leg up there, that would be fantastic.
Okay.
Do you see it? He's going to feel every single part of this tomorrow.
Ooh.
Oh, look. So these are strawberries.
Look.
Okay. This I told you. And look, you made it up. And we got to save here. We got to save
what is that muscle back here that I just pulled?
I don't know, because I've already pulled the knee walking around
here. Is there a doctor in here? I need an orthopedic surgeon quick.
Yes.
Based on that, it was the prettiest, but it's festivals from not only Southeast Louisiana, they kind of scoured the state and then had to choose which festivals to feature.
You got to say, I lived in Shreveport, Louisiana before, so I've got North Louisiana, Southeast Louisiana, and I got to tell you,
all are represented.
Mudbug Madness Festival up there. It's a crawfish festival. It's fantastic. There's a lot of community that's involved, but it's a shared love for our beloved crawfish across the state of Louisiana, and they make it just as good up there, even though we try to treat North Louisiana like it's something that's far.
The redheaded stepchild?
Yes, it's like we don't talk about it.
We love you, Shreveport, Alexandria.
Love it up there.
We love you.
And there's a lot of culture. There's a lot of history in North Louisiana. So let me tell you, it's a good time. But look, we're in here, and I have to say, you stepping into this role is fantastic. And
I have big shoes to fill taking over for Eric, and it's something I take very seriously and with a great deal of honor and respect because, Eric was the best.
Yes, he certainly was.
And it really, for me, it's overwhelming to take over from, a New Orleans television legend in Eric. And he just made it so easy.
All right now we're listening to the United States Marine Corps Color Guard and Band that are coming in, as Chris just mentioned. They are about to perform the national anthem, and that is what really gets things kicked off here.
Yeah, 1,700 men. This is the crew of Bacchus that kind of set the standard for all now super crews. Each one is trying to outdo the other with the tandem floats, the double-decker floats, the massive amount of guys riding, men and women. Crew of Iris, another big, women's crew. They're all trying to one-up each other, but really it started with Bacchus becoming the first super crew and setting the standard for Celebrity Monarch, the tandem floats, the massive floats. They kind of set the stage for really and kind of change the culture of carnival as we know it today.
And I have to say, Devin Bartolotta did a fantastic job.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Showcasing the history of Bacchus, a history I wasn't really familiar with, and just knowing that they wanted to open up Bacchus for everyone to enjoy.
That I found really fascinating, that it was more of the upper echelons of New Orleans society. And they thought, no, this needs to be something for everyone. And while everyone can enjoy it out on the streets, they wanted just anyone to be able to join a crew and have fun.
I have to tell you, since we've been inside of here at the Moriel Convention Center, the lights are going, the music has been going. So many people are coming in. There's been dancing already, and we're just getting the night started.
It's not even started. Like the lights have just dimmed, and we're just now getting into it. It looks like the Marines may be preparing to perform here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Marine Corps Color Guard and Band. Ladies and gentlemen, guests from around the world, hail Bacchus. For 56 years, world-famous entertainers, music legends, international stars. 56 years, world-famous entertainers, music legends, international stars have all said, hail Bacchus. Kings from film, Broadway, radio, television, sporting world, iconic actors. Hail Bacchus. Hail Bacchus. And now, a Louisiana legend to lead our Louisiana celebration of fairs and festivals. And more with themed floats loaded and ready for you with one-of-a-kind collectibles. Have now traveled from Napoleon down to St. Charles, over to Canal Street, up Julia. Showcasing good times from Breaux Bridge and over to Lafourche Parish, and down the river to Plaquemines Parish. Bacchus will celebrate a night of fun, a fabulous experience to the delight of an enthusiastic crowd of over 1 million people. And now, here to your rendezvous.
Let's get this party started. Hail Bacchus!
We're ready. I hope you are too, for the biggest event of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, hail King Bacchus Shaquille O'Neal and the crew of Bacchus.
All All right, of course, always a wonderful, wonderful opening, having the U.S. Marine Corps Color Guard and band perform. And then the Hail Bacchus crew. We've been talking about Shaquille O'Neal for a couple of days
larger
now.
Than life.
Larger than life in many ways.
Larger than most humans.
In many ways, as you just heard there, Shaquille O'Neal is with the LSU Hall of Fame and has a statue at a practice facility. I got to say, Shaq is fantastic and beloved, and to know that he went from our beloved LSU and has gone on to international stardom.
Yeah, international fame. I mean, there's not a person in the world that doesn't know Shaq.
No. Now, you had an opportunity to sit on the throne.
Yes,
How was
sat
it?
on the throne. It is so big. It is like you are dwarfed when you sit in it. When you get all the way to the back, my feet were dangling. I mean, I'm about 6 foot tall. This is nothing. And they kind of had to redesign the whole float. I don't want to get into too many details, but the bathroom on the float also had to be redesigned for
Oh, my goodness.
Everything had to be a little bit bigger. And what was really interesting is that the same throne that every Bacchus has sat in since 1969 when the celebrity monarch began, going back to Danny Kaye, Bob Hope, Charlton Heston, Drew Brees, all of them, William Shatner, and they had to change it for Shaq. So they've had the same throne in place until now, and they had to rebuild it.
I have to say, you're getting a live look right now. There he is, the man himself, King Bacchus 56, Shaquille O'Neal. And let me say, I've always wanted to do this one because, like, when you have the people that announce the stats, first overall pick in 1992, NBA draft to Orlando Magic, 1993 Rookie of the Year, 4-time NBA champ, LA Lakers, Miami Heat, and he retired from the NBA in 2011. But by the way he works, you wouldn't even know it.
No, he's still active. I mean, this wasn't a guy that was going to retire and just go to some house in the country.
No. He's been acting. He's a rapper. He is an analyst, a sports analyst.
And I think he's gotten kind of a newfound fame with his NBA analysis. Charles Barkley having kind of that on-air, off-air tiff with each other, having, fun with each other, and has made him kind of with a whole new generation of people. Like, we grew up watching him play, and then now it's a new generation of seeing him as an analyst and kind of, in his own world of his personality, such a big personality, loves life.
And also, by the way, a lot of people wouldn't know this, but now he has kind of reformed himself as a DJ. I feel like he adds on to the resume. DJ Diesel is what he goes by. So you wouldn't be shocked if we see Shaq get on that stage and start DJing
I never thought of that.
That would be, look, let me tell you something. He's the king. If
He'd do whatever he wants.
If Shaq wants to DJ, he gets to DJ right now. You see him right there. And also, those are one of the specialized basketballs. I think there were fewer than 1,000.
There were fewer than 1,000 because the crew did give out a few when I met with the Pages on Friday morning. So it was only less than 1,000 of those basketballs. So that is a hot item if you were able to catch one on the route. And it looked like he was just maybe throwing the last of those basketballs that he had.
Yes, which, by the way, I have to ask you, what do you think? Doug Newton taking over for your reign.
Doing
a great job?
I always had a blast as MC. Again, I'd always promote the fact that I would be involved with the, Doug is loud. I always would promote the fact that I would be here every year, and then folks would say, well, we didn't see you on air. Well, I was behind the scenes as MC in-house, and now Doug Mouton is taking over. And if there was maybe someone louder at the station than me, that is Doug Mouton.
Oh, my goodness. Doug Mouton is going to bring the joy. Which, by the way, I just want everyone to hear that band that is behind Shaquille O'Neal. That is my alma mater, the Southern University A&M College Human Jukebox, my Jaguars. I am a Jaguar. My family, my parents are Jaguars.
I didn't know that.
My sister's Jaguars.
Really?
This is a legacy
I
of
know
my
you
family.
were.
Oh, you know that I'm
I know you. Oh, wait, here we go. We might have to wait for Therese to let the band go by and play.
I mean, look, Southern University is my love. And, of course, they're going to come in. And before they make that way around that horseshoe shape we talked about, they're going to do a special tribute. And we'll talk about that in a second. But for right now, let's listen to the sounds of the Human Jukebox.
excited?
Look, let me tell you something. I think we got the best seat in the house.
We do.
We got Shaquille O'Neal to our left and Southern University Human Jukebox to our right. I mean, really, what better seat is there than inside of here at the Bacchus Rendezvous?
No, because you get because all of the bands will perform.
Yes.
They will all do something while they're coming in. When you're on the road, sometimes you might catch a band where they're taking a break, and you're like, wait, I thought you're gonna play something. No, but we get to hear all of the bands.
Yes,
I mean, this is a full experience of any carnival parade.
Yes, it is. It is fantastic, and there it is, the Southern University Human Jukebox. And they all come in preparing for this moment. And while it's the end of the ride, they always want to make sure they show their best and showcase.
This is kind of the showcase, but this is at the end of the route, which has been a long day for these men and women.
Absolutely. Let's listen in. The Human Jukebox, Southern University, out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Live now to the Southern University Human Jukebox, and they're moving, baby.
They are moving this one. These are the riding lieutenants, the 30 men that serve as lieutenants. They'll ride on horses on the street, but I'm guessing maybe there's some rule they don't want to bring horses in the convention center.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as I've been doing this, I've never seen a horse come into the convention center.
So maybe
they ride their float into the convention center for the rendezvous.
I have to say, horses, as much as we love them on the streets, they could make a little bit of a mess, and I don't know if we can take that mess inside of the convention center.
We're kind of closed in here. We might smell a little something.
It may run some people out.
But these guys have been on horseback all day, and now they get to transition to a float while they come into the rendezvous.
Yes, and of course they play an important ceremonial role for the parade. It has to be a joy. Chris, have you ever ridden in Bacchus?
I have not ridden in Bacchus, but I got to go on the float that we're showing right now, the officers. This is the signature float with the big chalice in the front. I did an interview with Clark Brennan with the big chalice. You see that right in the front there, in front of the face of Bacchus. What's really cool when we were in the convention center on Friday morning is that you hear all the hydraulics of the float moving.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't hear anything like that. But that chalice is massive. You can see got about 6 or 7 guys in there riding. So these are all of the officers. And what seems to be kind of the signature float, you feel like you've seen this for years. It only debuted back in 2018.
Well, I have to tell you, the signature float is fantastic. And look, Devin talked about this earlier, as they started to build the Bacca Gator and Bacca Waka.
Bacca Waapa.
Bacca Waapa, there it is. I never could get that one right.
Not Bacca Waka, that's Fozzie Bear.
Wait, no, it is Fozzie Bear, Bacca Waka. You're getting a look right now at the officers of Bacchus. And while Southern University is still marching around right now, you're hearing the sounds of Mississippi Valley State University Band, directed by Dr. Kenneth Milton. Now, let me tell you, I graduated from HBCU, and this is one of the youngest HBCUs in the country. I saw them at many other parades here as well. They have been busy this weekend for carnival season.
I don't know where these guys and girls stay, but when they come in town, they're in not just one parade, they're in countless parades. So I guess the crews or maybe the schools are paying for them to come down and play.
Yeah.
And this is a long, and for someone like this, Mississippi Valley, they might be a little bit more familiar with Bacchus or with Mardi Gras parades in general, but they'll get schools from much farther away that probably have no idea what they're in for when they come to Carnival.
Yeah, not at all. Let's take a live listen in. Mississippi Valley State Mean Green Marching Machine. there. You just heard Mississippi Valley State University Band. And we are taking a live look right now. Of course, Shaq taking the mic. Let's listen in.
I want to say I love you, New Orleans. I love you, Louisiana. Thank you for coming out. Continue to have fun and get home safe tonight. Hail Bacchus.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shaquille O'Neal.
I think we heard Doug.
Yes, we did. Shaquille O'Neal, you just saw it right there. Short message, but very pointed, of course. Get safe. Hail Bacchus. And, of course, he's probably taking part in all the festivities.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm very familiar with this.
And very familiar with Carnival. Very familiar. He was, more of a Baton Rouge Carnival guy. So this, I don't know, may or may not be his first New Orleans Carnival.
Oh, no.
But, from talking to the folks with Bacchus, he was so excited to do this. He or his people asked if at any point in the route they could stop so he could get out and actually interact with people on the route. And they said,
right.
No, we kind of need to keep this moving.
Right,
so
right.
he is the embodiment of Carnival and just having fun with the crowd. And I'm sure along the route he has had a blast.
All right, right now, of course, I just want to say this is the Talladega College Band. I got to tell you, Talladega College has recruited a lot of young band members from the city of New Orleans, so they are all too familiar with this. They are the Great Tornado Marching Band with over 300 members.
And they are here every year.
Yes.
This must be a favorite of Bacchus and the fans because they are here every single year.
Yes, every single year. And I have to say they've been fantastic, founded by the American Missionary Association for African Americans. And they have been, it's been wonderful because I remember when Talladega College was recruiting for band members to come to the college. They were giving full scholarships to young men and women in New Orleans.
Oh, wow.
Recruiting them over there. So if that sounds familiar, or if you hear something that sounds like it looks a little like New Orleans.
You're realizing, wait, these guys have way too much talent. It's because they came from New Orleans, or some of them at least.
Yes. All right, we're going to take a live listen at Talladega College.
Right now at float number 3. This is the title float, Louisiana Fairs and Festivals. And as I said, I can't wait to go through all of the fairs, festivals across the state that are being featured in the parade tonight. And I mean, this is probably one of the best, and even Clark Brennan admitted, all their themes are well thought out, well prepared for, but this may be one of the best because it really celebrates Louisiana culture in the best way possible.
Let me tell you, we joked about this. In New Orleans, I feel like I always wish that we had a slow season. There is no slow
there isn't,
season
unfortunately.
Here because of the amount of festivals that we have. Right after we go out of Mardi Gras, we go into St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Then we go straight into festival season, French Quarter Fest, Jazz Fest, and the number of festivals that happen throughout the city and beyond.
Maybe the summer is a little slower.
Maybe the summer is a little slower.
What you're also seeing there is kind of a rare sight, as all members of Bacchus are male, but there are women in the parade. Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser actually arranged for a special float. So the float that you see with the wrought iron is not part of Bacchus normally. This is a special float. All the fairs and festivals, the queens for those are being represented. So the Lieutenant Governor wanted to have these queens brought into the parade, and so they are all riding with the all-male crew of Bacchus. It's not unheard of because LSU cheerleaders, St. Stations have ridden in the past for big special events, but it is a rarity to have women in Bacchus.
And this has been a true treat to have them there. If you know anything about Doug Newton, and he will tell you that he has judged some of these state fair competitions for fair queens. So he knows a little bit about this and probably knows some of the young ladies that are on
He
this
probably
float.
does, because there is a big organization of all of these events around the state, and then they're judged by Doug for various parts of the aspects of these festivals. And there are a lot around the state. And as I said, it was a tough job for the folks at Bacchus to then whittle this down to just a few.
I have to say, we have to take a moment right now because this is a very somber moment. Southern University Human Jukebox Marching Band taking a moment of silence in honor of Southern University student Caleb Wilson, who passed away just a few days ago. We're going to observe that moment of silence. Just heard.
Heartbreaking to see the band members, remembering one of their own.
You just heard a moment of silence.
All right, and welcome back. And again, what we were just leaving you with was that moment of silence with Southern University, and kind of heartbreaking in here to see the band members representing and remembering one of their own here.
I have to say, Caleb Wilson was a member of the Human Jukebox, so if Caleb were here today, he would have been marching with the Human Jukebox. He had just performed with them at the Super Bowl when they all performed here in the pre-show. So, unfortunately, these students are suffering, but they showed up and they are marching and they are going strong. So right now, the parade's moving really fast. We got Bacchus-tality right now.
The parade is moving right along. This is a signature triple tandem float. This was actually introduced in the season right before Hurricane Katrina back in 2005. And this is one of the floats that really is special to Bacchus, being, started by Pip Brennan and now run by Clark Brennan, being in the restaurant industry here in New Orleans. This is representing the food, architecture, music of our city, the city's hospitality industry. This is one of the floats that it's one of those sustainable throws because most of the items are kitchen items. So you got a whisk, you got spatulas, you got a jar opener that I use all the time that I caught here either last year or a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And so you get those sustainable throws. You can restock your kitchen after the Bacchus-tality float goes by.
And let me tell you, Whitney Miller, she's down there right now. She's catching throws, and I said that I was in such a jealous position because I'm way back here. I'm trying to get them to get my attention. I don't know if anybody's arm is that great.
No, we're a little too far back for them to reach us. I try because I usually am emceeing from around where we are positioned here. Some of them have a good arm, but we're pretty far back.
Wait, we may have some. Oh, Shaq
Shaq is right behind us.
Oh, my goodness, Shaq just threw our producer.
Oh, our producer.
Our producer, Ian.
And he's not giving those up at all.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, Shaq gave us
Shaq may or may not try to kill you with that one.
Shaq, I can't believe this. I have to show you this. Shaq just threw us some beads.
You kind of wonder how hard he's able to throw a basketball when he hums these beads at us.
That's fantastic. Look, hopefully we can get him here. But again, right now, Bacchus-tality is right there. And I have to say, Whitney Miller has to get us something because I've gotten a few things. I don't know if I'm ashamed to say this, but I've gotten a few things that are still in my kitchen from Bacchus last year.
I use them all the time. I've got several Bacchus embroidered items.
All right, so we were excited to introduce Devin Bartolotta earlier.
Yes.
Her first time.
Bacchus rendezvous.
Doing the Bacchus rendezvous. And Devin Bartolotta joining us right now. I know you guys are having a good time down there, Devin.
Oh my gosh, this is crazier than I could have imagined in the best possible way. I'm with Reba. She's from Belchase. Are you having fun? It looks like you're having a great time.
We're having a great time. Bacchus always brings the energy. They have the best throws, the best surprise guests, and it's just a great time.
I see you already have a hat. What kind of throws are we working with so far?
We love all the beads, anything that lights up, anything that we can take home to our kiddos after.
I love that. Do you have family in the parade, or are you just having a good time?
We do have a couple friends and family in the parade.
So you're waiting for them to pass by then?
Yep, they're on a few floats, yep.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I want to talk about this weekend. Have you been to other parades? The weather could not have been better, right?
The weather is perfect. It's sunny and 75.
Yeah, and in here, it's always, the weather's
always perfect. Indoors, always perfect.
All right, any message for the rest of Mardi Gras to the people of New Orleans?
Everybody be safe, drink plenty of water, and everyone have a happy Fat Tuesday. Woo!
I love that. The water part is so important.
Yeah, everyone hydrate.
All right, Reba, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, we are going to keep having a good time here. The throws are starting to come down. People are so excited to be here. We've got ladies up on chairs. These are all your friends right here?
Yes, these are all my friends and my family. Everybody say, woo!
I love that they're up on chairs. They're going to catch all the best stuff. So, all right, we're going to toss it back to Chris and Charisse.
They are having fun, and we've only just gotten started.
Yes, we're only getting started.
Folks, you got to pace yourself, and she nailed it on the head. A lot of water.
Yes.
I got 2 bottles underneath with a little beverage in honor of Eric, who would say, no, have fun.
Lily Cummings has said it all week. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Be careful as you go through.
And
let me tell you.
Okay, what are you going to say?
This is about as close to band royalty in high school that we
You know
get.
what? I am a proud Brother Martin Crusader, but I will show respect where respect is due, and very much deserve the St. Aug Margin 100, one of the best ever.
Yes, they are fantastic. I have to say it's a wonderful school for young men in the city of New Orleans. They are renowned across the country. If you have heard of St. Augustine Marching Band, you've probably seen many documentaries, television shows, movies.
Speaking of internationally known.
Yes, internationally known. Everyone knows this band. Rose Bowl, Macy's parades. They played at Super Bowls. And they even played at a celebration of Pope John Paul II.
Yeah, you have to be pretty good if you're being asked to play for the Pope.
Yes. Oh, no, you don't get many requests like that.
And this is one of those annual performances in Bacchus. Bacchus always invites St. Aug to play.
Yes, of course. The Marching 100 are wonderful. Let's take a live listen in. All right, right now.
We just had a shot of Whitney down on the route. Yeah, so the way we set it up is Devin is in the crowd.
Yes.
And Whitney is on the route on the other side of the barricade. So we're expecting that Whitney will bring us back. We're expecting again that Whitney will bring us back a lot of throws, but I'm not counting on it.
No. We've already
she
asked
warned
Whitney.
me. Yeah, she warned me that ain't happening. Maybe a pair of socks.
We've already asked Whitney for
a lot of
couple
things.
of throws,
I'm not forgetting them.
But she's in charge of getting all that stuff for us. I'm dancing right now because I used to be a former Eagleette, so anytime I hear the band, I get back to my 16-year-old knees.
It's hard for you. How are those knees holding up? Look, Whitney is on the route. I expected she was dancing with St. Aug a minute ago. Look at that hat. She is ready.
You like my hat?
I love it.
Okay, now what was y'all talking mess about me now?
No, I thought maybe you were dancing with St. Aug a minute ago.
Y'all talking about Whitney. You don't think I'm gonna bring you any throws?
Oh, that well.
Let's see what we can get.
I'm not counting on it.
What do you want?
Whatever you got.
He wants socks.
I want socks and whatever.
Hey, y'all having a good time?
Having a great time. That's the DJ extraordinaire. How y'all doing? Thank you very much. You want this, Chris?
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take that. All right. Y'all got any socks? Y'all got any socks for Chris Franklin? Ooh, look at this. Sir. Hi. 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 Oh, hello. Can I have that? Thank you so much.
Wow.
Now, this is nice. Would you like this?
Yes,
Oh, I love
I'll
that.
give this to you, Sharice. This is for you.
Thank
okay?
you. Thank
Don't
you.
say
I'd
I
love
never
to
gave
have
you
that.
nothing. Do y'all got any socks for Chris Franklin?
Get on the float if you need to. Get
Y'all
on the
got any
float
socks?
if you need
Oh,
to.
I'll try. Okay. I'll get on the float in a little bit. This is fun. Oh, I wanted to show y'all something real quick. I'm ready this year. I got this big bag, and I'm going to fill this bag up with some light up beads and toys and trinkets. So, of course, I got you, okay?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Whitney, thank you.
That bag.
All right, I'll send it back to y'all. Y'all come back down here in a little bit.
I saw that bag, kind of behind the scenes before we all set up, and I thought that was our food.
That's what I thought it was,
I
too.
thought it was the lunch, and Whitney said, no, that's my bag for throws.
Oh, my goodness.
It's like a suitcase.
She is prepared. All right, as the floats start to come in, you're looking live right now at the Bacchus Chariot. It is a signature throw, and it first served as Drew Brees' King Float, 2010.
Yeah, which is really cool. So again, one of those kind of epic floats that only debuted not long ago, 2010. It was redesigned, however, in 2018, and it holds 52 riders. It's got the leopards out in front. TikTok star Stale Cracker is riding.
Oh.
I'm
gonna be honest with you. I don't have a TikTok account.
I'll be honest. I don't know. All right, I guess we're looking at Stale Cracker.
We're getting some of the throws getting thrown here on the stage. Woo!
Okay.
Thank you. All right.
Somebody open up TikTok for me and show me who Stale Cracker is.
Look,
no offense.
Devin,
no offense to Stale Cracker, but
Devin Bartolotta makes fun of me.
I don't do TikTok.
Devin Bartolotta makes fun of me because whenever things come out on TikTok, they say that it
2
comes
weeks
out
later,
to Instagram 2 weeks later, and I'm an
avid
Instagram fan.
That is when I see it too.
All right, so of course we have John F. Kennedy High School Band. Look, band director, which by the way, I like to say the band director is Keith Thomas, a good family friend of mine.
Oh, no kidding.
And Keith is fantastic. He teaches those kids and he loves them. 150 students, and of course, now before Katrina, we used to call it the K.
Well, and before Katrina, my dad, John Franklin, graduated from Kennedy High School.
JFK.
JFK.
What do we know? What are you trying to tell us here?
Just saying it. John Franklin went there.
All right, well, this school established in 1966, and of course, unfortunately, after Hurricane Katrina, like so many of our schools in their original locations, it did close. But it did reopen. They're back 2018. And Cougar Band once was one of the largest. I will say this. I was a part of the Warren Easton Eagles marching band.
So was this a competitor?
So this was a competitor.
Rival? This was a rival?
And they were fantastic. I can say that now that I'm many years removed.
Okay, yeah. No, you know what? I'm Brother Martin. I still hold those high school rivalries.
Yes, I still
Now,
hold
I can't
those.
joke with you that you went somewhere you didn't go.
Right.
Well, I've joked, oh, here's Carr. Isn't that your alma mater? And you make a face at me.
Yeah, absolutely
that
not.
I'm scared to death of.
Those are fighting words.
I know they're fighting words.
But
you can say you're over the rivalry, but you're not quite over the rivalry.
I also can't say anything because that is the alma mater of our news director, Nicole Wavers at Nicar.
So you better not say anything.
All right, we're going to listen in live right now. The Kennedy Cougars High School Marching Band. The John F. Kennedy High School Marching Band, the band director Keith Thomas. These kids are fantastic.
You better be nice if it's a family friend.
It certainly is a family friend. I am nice to them.
He's not coming to Sunday dinner if you say anything. I don't care where you went to high school.
Oh, yes. And I have to tell you, though, that these kids, they prepare for this throughout the years. I think one of the most naturally New Orleans things is watching the kids march through the neighborhoods and prepare to practice, preparing stamina, preparing to go march these miles. Because you got to think about it, they came from uptown to downtown.
And they're still performing. Now, again, they're teenagers. They've got more energy than we do, so.
Well, oh, honey, I'm having a hard time stepping up with this knee on.
Yeah, can I get a chair over here? I'm having a tough time standing.
Oh, they got a live performance here. Let's listen in.
Well, as we continue to listen to the fantastic New Orleans area, as well as high schools, colleges from all over the region and all over the country watching the floats come in, we're going to take a quick break and rejoin Bacchus 56 Rendezvous right here on WWL Louisiana.
Welcome back to 56th Annual Bacchus Rendezvous. We're inside of the Morial Convention Center, and we are chugging along right now. This is float number 6, Bridge Crawfish Fest. Now, I've heard of this festival. I haven't been to this one yet.
You were talking about one up in Shreveport or North
Louisiana?
Louisiana?
One in Shreveport, North Louisiana.
So this one is obviously a different one down at Bridge. It's actually coming up at the beginning of May, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, kind of toward the end of crawfish season. Have you had crawfish yet this season?
Oh, I've been eating crawfish every other day. I thought you knew. I'm one of the people.
No, I know. You'll eat it in the parking lot at work for lunch.
I was going to say, I actually do bring crawfish to work, and I eat it in the parking lot before I go into the newsroom. I don't mind.
I wonder what that aroma is.
Like a big crawfish.
It's like somebody just came out of a crawfish pot in the newsroom.
You know, crawfish is one of those things I only get a couple of months out of the year.
No, you do. You only get it for a brief window, so enjoy it while you can. I've only had it once so far this season. So
I've had it every other day.
The Bridge Crawfish Festival began 1960, kind of a spin-off of their centennial celebration. You've got the swamp pop music, Zydeco, Cajun music. They've got 30 bands performing on 3 stages, and what the crew is throwing are light-up crawfish. So again, a signature throw for that float. So hopefully you catch that. Now, who we're listening to now, again, you had mentioned our news director, our boss. So we got to give her a shout out, Nicole Wavers, a proud Egnacar High School Cougar. And here comes the Cougar Band. Let's listen in.
that was the Etna Cougars. Right now, the high school band. And, of course, very popular band. They've been doing wonderful. Anytime you're featuring a Beyonce, I got some new things.
Thank you,
I
Whitney.
got some new things.
Where are my socks?
You know what? Whitney Miller has brought us up a couple of things on the riser. Hey, she's still got to catch the socks here.
No,
but
she said she would.
brought me my gift.
I believe her.
And I have to show you this shirt. Oh, wait,
Yes.
we have some socks right here.
Oh,
The
she did give me
right
socks.
Here. She got me socks.
Oh, wait. I got to open
this
them.
T-shirt. Our producer, Ian Kramer, has been on the
these.
side. And he's been catching the floats as they throw behind our cameras right now. Now, that's a good new pair of socks
I love
for you to
these.
have. They have the full crawfish boil. And
I'm wearing these tomorrow.
This is a shirt featuring Bacchus theme this year for the Rendezvous, Louisiana Fairs
I love
and
this.
Festivals. So
They've got a
this is
purple,
fantastic.
green, and gold version, so we need to get
Yes.
the green and purple.
Yes, we have to get the other version. So we're counting apparently.
Keeping these socks in my pocket.
The great thing about having a parade go through the convention center is because it kind of zigzags, and so
You're right.
it comes through. It
So
goes
if you miss
to the
it
main
in one
stage.
spot, you might catch it somewhere else.
Yes, and so it actually goes behind our cameras. So we're trying to catch beads in the middle of all
If
of
we
this.
miss it the first time, we're trying to catch it as they're
Yes.
lining up to kind of, park themselves to end here.
Yes.
We're also now watching Float 7. So we got a long way to go. We're only on Float 7. This is the Washington Parish Balloon Festival. And the float is gorgeous. If we go back to that shot, I don't know if we can. The balloon that they created in the front is awesome. The artistry of it is beautiful.
All right now, again, you're looking at the Washington Parish Balloon Festival. And we have Jesuit band that is here right now. Jesuit High School band. Oh, okay.
I'm not saying anything.
Chris threw his hands up. Is
Not
this
saying
a school
anything.
rivalry here, Chris?
Okay, so a little background. Every year I MC our Bacchus coverage or MC in the convention center, and some people have gotten upset with me that I don't say the name of the school on Bank Street.
Oh my goodness.
That is all part of the love of high school rivalry. I have good friends, family members, co-workers that all graduated from Jesuit. I have nothing but respect for you,
Yes.
but as part of that little Jesuit Brother Martin rivalry,
Oh,
I will
yeah.
always announce, here is that blue and white school on Bank Street band. And it pains some of those Jesuit grads. You know who you are. But again, nothing but love for the Blue Jays over on Bank Street.
Yes, Jesuit High School band led by Joseph Kaluta and nicknamed the Blue Jays Sound. They have performed in multiple parades. Another band that's been busy during carnival season, even marched in Disney's Magic Kingdom Parade.
Yeah, who cares?
And, now, didn't you just try to make good with all the people?
I tried to heal old wounds, and then I just brought them back up.
He tried to make good with all of the people who were angry
Sorry,
with him.
that's why I wear a crimson jacket for this.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
And look, you know what? I've never had any issue. Clark Brennan, proud Jesuit grad, he has no problem with me, so we're
You
good.
have no issues.
Maybe not, until he sees this broadcast.
All right, he's going to see this broadcast, and we're going to have an issue.
Right.
I
Again,
have to
nothing but
say,
love. Nothing but love.
Hopefully, every time you guys come to us, we'll have some new bling for you guys. This one,
Yeah,
actually
this
has a
one
face
is the.
on it.
This looks like it was from the officers, the
Yes,
Roman
yes.
Legion, and then that's the one that Whitney.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh wait, Whitney's back on the floor.
Yeah, I think Whitney's back on the floor. She's been gathering things for us right now. And Whitney,
Oh, hey, y'all.
what have you got for us this time? We cannot wait.
Well, I got some for your dog, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay.
Little snowball.
Ooh, I'm gonna put it in my
Yeah.
bag. This is from one of my little nieces, but isn't this cute? Yeah. Okay. And then this, you know, that has sustainable throws, right?
Yes.
This is one of those neck pillows that you can take on the airplane. Isn't that nice?
You think
It's like a chili pepper.
All right, Whitney, you think somebody in another state would look at you weird if you were
I don't care how
using
they
a
look at
neck
me.
pillow with that's a
And there
giant
was somebody
cayenne
up here
pepper?
with a birthday.
Oh wait, who's a birthday?
There was
Whose
somebody with a
birthday?
birthday sign. Oh, where's
Happy
she go?
birthday.
Well, it was somebody's birthday. Happy.
Oh.
No, I said happy birthday.
Yes.
Oh, they're
all right,
lying.
have a good time.
They're
But the other
lying.
thing
There's no
is,
birthday.
I don't care how those people see me on the plane. Who's getting the good rest? Me, you know? But we're waiting for another float to come down here so we can get some more socks. And don't say that I was not going to bring you socks when I clearly brought
No,
you some socks.
Yes, you
no.
did. We
Look,
saw it. We got
look,
the socks.
I didn't
Yeah,
see
we
him
got
at
the socks.
first. I have sung
I
your
was sitting there
praises.
like, bruh.
I love these socks. These are original Whitney Miller socks.
Yes. We're gonna, and I have a pair for myself, so we can be twins. Okay.
You work for these socks.
I
Yes,
did, so that we can be twins. We both have the same
Oh, we
pair.
do?
Yes.
No, let me know when you wear them at work.
Okay,
I'm wearing mine.
I will.
Got it.
All right, Whitney, thank you so much. Whitney has been taking care of things, getting on throws for us.
She's,
and can't
all
let
right,
for
you know
herself.
what? Whitney has made mission accomplished.
Yes.
Whitney, you got me my socks. We're good for the rest of the night.
All right, now we're going to send things over to Devin Bartolotta. She's been in the crowds. Everyone is enjoying Devin. Oh, she's got the 6-inch stompers with her. Devin.
She found the right group.
Yes, I have some ordinary men with extraordinary moves here. These are some of the busiest guys during carnival season. How is it going? How are you having fun?
Oh, it's the greatest Sunday in all of Mardi Gras. We're having a blast here at Bacchus Ball. We're loving it.
You guys have such a busy schedule this time of year. Why is this a priority?
Oh man, we just love to get every opportunity that we can to come out and give the people what they want. Mardi Gras is such a special season, but it's so short. Trying to make the most of it every year.
Awesome. Okay, so I have to ask, is this Stomper black tie? Is this the tux this time of year?
This is our Sunday best, absolutely.
All right, I gotta ask you guys. What are we looking for? What's the throw that you're looking for?
So they got socks, lots of socks, and then anything that lights up you could ever dream of.
Okay, why the light ups?
I got a 4-year-old at home. She needs it.
That's a very good reason. I got a pile of them at my house too.
Right.
Yeah. All right. How much are we going to see you guys before the end of carnival?
Oh, we're gonna try to get on stage at some point. We got to, right? We got it, right? People want to see us dance, right?
Okay. I mean, I meant in parades, but if we're going to stage bomb.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we'll be here for Zulu, 100%.
Okay.
Mardi Gras Day. Look for us in Zulu.
Let's go.
Awesome. All right. Can we get it? Oh, go ahead.
If the 6 of us and the camera and you walk to the stage, they're not stopping us.
Right.
You know, it's the microphone and the outfits.
Right.
It's a lot of power, you know? All right, any final messages for the people of New Orleans for Mardi Gras?
Oh, yeah, we love New Orleans. New Orleans forever, baby. New Orleans forever.
Baby. 6'10".
All right, we'll send it back to you guys. I'm going to get some dance lessons.
Yeah.
If I'm going to hear that right, the 6 of those 6'10" stompers and Devin are going to storm the stage.
Hey, look, you know what? You can't stop the 6-inch
No, you can't.
stompers.
They said they were unstoppable, and Devin's going to use her microphone.
I want to make sure that we mention this. Roots and Music is not only a fantastic band that is led by Lawrence Rollins, but founded in 2007, but it was heavily supported and by our own Eric Paulson. He was a true supporter of young musicians who were growing into themselves, learning this culture, learning their history in music, and this was one of the bands that Eric Paulson supported. So Roots
and Music. It was very close to his heart.
Yes, it's very, very close to his heart. And you know, one of the ways that we paid tribute to him as his wish after unfortunately losing him, we wanted to make donations go towards the Roots and Music to support this musical program. You know, it's serving around 200 kids now.
And you know, it's just Eric's, yet another one of Eric's contributions and kind of low key. He never made a big, you know, to do about it, but it's one of his contributions to New Orleans culture. All right, we went right past the Float 8 Tarpon Rodeo, Grand Isle Tarpon Rodeo. That's coming up the last weekend of July. What you're seeing now here is Float 9, the Bacamore. This is one of their signatures, so this is not a part of the theme. This is one of their signature floats. It debuted back in 2008.
And it's dedicated to Bacchus' passion for love, life, and wine. Sounds a lot like you, Chris Franklin.
My passion of
love
life,
and
wine.
Well,
make that love, life, and bourbon, and then we're on to something.
See, I know my coworker too much if I can say that it's bourbon that he loves other than the wine. I'll take the love, life, and the wine part. It features Bacchus' companion, Cupid, and they typically throw teddy bears. Right now, we're getting another look at a polka band.
This is the Brats. Not the
polka
Brats.
band.
Not a brat, a Brat. This is the Brats polka band. They perform yearly at the Deutsches Haus Oktoberfest. This is not your typical Oompa band. This is high energy polka dance music, baby.
All right, they made that float especially for the band, setting the stage for
and this is setting up for what is our next float.
which is Louisiana's Oktoberfest.
Oh, one of my favorites. The dancing chicken. My kids love Oktoberfest at the newly renovated Deutsches Haus on Bayou St. John by City Park.
I've been to Deutsches Haus plenty of times, and I have to tell you, Oktoberfest is not something that we hold strictly to the state of Louisiana. It's around the world.
No,
around the state, actually. Baton Rouge, Shreveport, Lake Charles, Monroe, and New Orleans. I mean, Oktoberfest is something that we all celebrate.
We all celebrate it. We all become German for those weekends in October. We're all a little German. A lot of German immigrants that settled in New Orleans and the New Orleans area, des Allemands. And they are celebrating their culture, food, and beer by throwing rubber duckies.
Oh, okay. What's the connection?
I'm not sure. But that's what they're throwing.
You know, I mean, either way, I would like a rubber duck.
I'd want a rubber duck, too.
It's very funny because when you get to the Bacchus parade, everything that they have to throw, everything that they have, you want a piece of it.
Because you need to collect. Again, it's brilliant marketing.
Yes.
Each throw or each float has a different throw, a signature throw. So you got to catch them all, like a Pokemon.
You have to.
You got to catch them all.
Show everything. Now, look, right now you're getting a live look. This band's special to me, special to my father and all of my family that come from the Desire community. This is the George Washington Carver High School Marching Band in the 9th Ward in the Desire neighborhood. My father was a part of this band.
No kidding.
Played trumpet, and my father was also part of the human jukebox as well.
What, your dad was?
Yes, he was.
So wait, what instrument do you play?
I don't play an instrument.
Oh. You kind of had a build up like you were going to be a musical family, and you kind of dropped the ball.
I got one of those little what are those flutes they give you in elementary school?
A recorder.
I can play hot cross buns.
Oh, sign me up. As soon as you want to
That's all I got,
pull that baby out, sign me up.
Yes. All right, let's take a live listen right now. George Washington Carver High School Marching Band.
All right, one of my favorite floats to say, I think Whitney Miller or you.
Who
said it?
Wrong.
That was, but somebody.
No, Whitney Miller was saying she loves
This is her
Bacchus.
favorite to say, the Bacchus. This is,
Bacchus.
as MC of the last 6 or 7 years, this is my favorite to announce was the Bacchus. This was introduced way back in 1991. I was a mere 9-year-old, 10-year-old.
91?
No, 91 I was 9. 8, 9.
Are you
One of
sure?
those. I was born in 81.
Well, I mean,
so
I feel like you should go a few years back.
This was for the opening of the Audubon Aquarium of the Americas. That's my point was, I remember when the Audubon Aquarium of the Americas was open. So this was the signature float for that year. That was the year that Steve Gutenberg was Bacchus, and he actually rode on the tail of the Bacchus.
I like how the Bacchus, look how it opens and closes.
Yes.
The animatronics are amazing. They have so many
Oh,
riders.
here's Whitney.
And there's our Whitney Miller.
She got signed. No, it's a T-shirt.
That's a shirt. We just got a
Oh,
shirt.
that's all right.
Whitney, when are you getting to our starting here?
I wasn't ready. Do y'all got any socks?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. I don't need beads. Thank you. That's so sweet.
Yes.
Y'all got any socks for Chris Franklin?
Hey, don't forget Sharice Gibson.
Yeah, Sharice Gibson did some stuff.
Y'all got any socks?
And I think our stage crew probably needs some socks. I know our producer Ian Kramer wants socks.
Yes.
Ian and I discuss socks all the time.
Yeah, and I'm going to get
and our
socks.
other producer,
We got to
Tori.
get Tori Josie your socks as well. Our producer who's been behind all of this doing a fantastic job.
Oh, I
Thank
think
you so
another
much,
band
Tori.
is coming up.
Whitney
Yes.
Miller, she's been down there on the roads. But Whitney, what have you seen down there?
Who is that?
We got the Warren Easton.
What band is that, Sharice?
This is Warren
Wait,
Easton.
what do my cards say here, Sharice? I can't
That
pronounce that.
is-
Warren
Oh,
what?
hey.
What does that say?
No,
That is.
Don't talk about Warren Easton like that now.
I would never.
Matter of fact, let's let it speak for itself. We're going to listen in to the Warren Easton Charter High School band.
Okay, so
my high school.
What are the dancers?
The Eaglettes.
Eaglettes. Okay, so I watched with amazement and how good these girls are.
Yes.
Can you still move like that?
Oh no.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I
not even close.
I stood up wrong today, and I've been limping. And that was just me standing up after being on the ground. And I've been limping for a few hours now.
Yeah, you bent down to grab something, and that was the end of your knees.
Yes, that was the end of my day.
So what you're saying is it ain't happening?
Oh, no, honey.
You're not an eaglet?
No. I can keep the feet, as long as I keep the feet planted, I can move upward of the body. Downwards, I can't right now.
It looks like we've got the queens of all of the Louisiana fairs and festivals represented in Bacchus, making their way to probably the viewing stands to now watch and enjoy the rest of the parade.
Truly history making, as you said. It's the first time that they had the queens riding
and
parades.
A completely different float that was not part of Bacchus, with Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser inviting all these ladies, wanting the Louisiana culture to really shine in this parade. Could you think about how many people from around the country and around the world come to watch Bacchus?
Yes. All right, right now we're going to go back to Devin Bartolotta. She's been in the crowd, taking a look at everyone having fun, and it seems like we got all the bling down there, Devin.
So much bling. Everything is lit up down here, and it just keeps getting more and more fun. The outfits are incredible, and that's what brought me to this beautiful couple here. They've got the outfits of the night. Tell me about this fit.
I don't know what to say. It's a beautiful town. You just want to have a great time, and it fit.
It's beautiful. So you guys from here? Do you live in New Orleans?
I'm from Texas, Louisiana girl. I've never looked back. Love Louisiana.
Is this your first Bacchus?
No, we've been here before.
Oh, you having fun? You guys having fun?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
What's the best part of being down here?
The bands. I love the bands. They have so much energy and so much fun. You have to love that.
The people, the pageantry. It's amazing how everybody comes together, has a great time. We love it.
All right. Thank you guys so much. It was great talking to you. Have so much fun. Enjoy the bands. We're going to toss it back to you guys.
All right, Devin, thank you so much. Right now, you're looking at the float number 12. This is a salute to our Black Masking Indians. They call this one Super Sunday, historically paraded on St. Joseph's Day. And we're actually only a couple of weeks away, a couple of days away from Super Sunday.
Well, with Mardi Gras being so late,
we're
kind of getting closer and closer to Super Sunday as well as St. Patrick's Day. So
it's
kind of a quick build up to now more of the festivities.
That means we've got a celebration going on.
Yeah.
All right, so that was Super Sunday. Let me tell you, the Black Masking Indians spend the year decorating their beaded suits.
The intricacies of their is unbelievable that they do these by hand. You would think you'd need a machine to do these, but these folks work on these for years.
Yes.
And they're unbelievable pieces of art.
And they only debut them about once or twice a year.
Right.
It's not something you see all the time.
It is a true piece of artwork.
All right, right now, actually one of my favorite bands to see marching in the Carnival Parade, St. Paul's Catholic School
All
Band.
the way from Covington.
Yes, and let me tell you, they get down. Let's take a live listen in.
Welcome to 13, Hamilton, Oak Street, Crawfish Festival.
Okay, you know what? I had a half of a sandwich for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
And now I'm watching the Oak Street Po' Boy Festival float go by.
One
And
of
I could take a bite out of that
po'
paper
boy they have
mache.
in front. It looks like it's a shrimp po' boy.
Oh.
Oak Street Po' Boy Festival is something that my family and I, my late brother and I remember that being one of the last festivals that my brother and I attended together. And we love the Oak Street Po' Boy Festival.
It's so much fun. Such good po' boys.
It is.
And such long lines to get those po' boys. Po' boy was a poor man's meal.
Yes, it
You don't wait in
was.
a line for a poor man's meal, but yet, you know, we've taken what was just like a roast beef and made it into a gourmet meal.
It's a delicacy now.
Oh, it is a delicacy.
Oh,
and
my God.
the Oak Street Po' Boy Festival has so many unique takes on the po' boy and something that is truly naturally New Orleans.
It began in 2007. Look, we say 40 vendors, live music, there's an art market, it's a lot of things to the Po' Boy Fest. And there's a sandwich thought to have been created in 1929, as Chris just mentioned.
Again, for the poor boys.
For poor boys, and they're throwing plush bottles of hot sauce and aprons, but I gotta tell you, I don't want a plush bottle. Give me some real hot sauce
You know
down
what,
here.
y'all toss a shrimp po' boy off the side
Yeah,
now.
we need something over here so we can get a little meal going on.
You know what, the best part, real quick, the socks were not exactly what the folks at Bacchus wanted. They were hoping it was gonna look like 2 slices of bread with the meat in the middle, and so when you put your legs together, you had a po' boy.
Oh my
Not
goodness.
quite that, but it's still unique.
All right, we're gonna check back in Whitney in a second, and Devin Bartolotta, who's downstairs for right now, taking a quick break as we continue with the Bacchus Rendezvous.
All right, 35. You don't have anything to say?
No.
Okay, so this is my Jesuit.
This is your.
All right. I see how it goes. I didn't know who was the big Warren Easton rival, but now the face you're making off camera, I don't know if we can take Sharice's face right now, but obviously 35, McDonough 35, has a thorn in Sharice's side.
Let me tell you something. That is only because of the Warren Easton 35 rivalry.
Okay, you see?
As
So
an adult here,
You made it sound like it was just me.
Well, no. I mean, come on. If you are from the Crescent City, every school had their rivals, and it's a rivalry we carry for the rest of our lives.
That goes back over 100 years.
Yes, it does. And so, you know, as long as I see 35 right now, there's always going to be a little bit of a win. But then, of course, I come back to myself because
So do you want to give them any credit?
I will give them some credit. They are fantastic musicians. The dancers are fantastic. They are the Marching Ron Eagles band, opened in 1917. And they've been performing all season long.
Yes, this is
I have to tell you, every single parade that we've seen, all of these bands, these kids are busy.
So that's the thing, you got to understand, these kids are not just getting things started with Carnival season, they are performing almost year round.
Yes. All right,
the stamina these kids have is unbelievable. Let's listen in. Oh, wait. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
All right, you got to give it to 35.
Wow.
All right, let's hear you, Sharice.
Yeah, hey, look, I get
what are you going to say now?
I get props where props are
All
due.
right, there you go.
I had a hard time waking it up the steps today.
You
and
twisted your knee picking up a cup of water.
Knee, picking up something off the ground. And these young ladies are throwing people in the air. So all you can do is give them all of their props. And we talked about this a little bit earlier. Baca and Moray, it looks like they made a circle around, and they are going back through. And we want to go out to, we have Deborah Bartolotta, she's downstairs, as well as Whitney Miller. And I have to say, Whitney, I've seen you with those really big hats. I want the hat. Can you get that?
I'm going to try to get the hat for you. These guys, y'all got me, I don't know what y'all got. They're not throwing anything right now.
Get on that float.
I think they're done.
Get on that float. That's the one you jump on.
Right. Can I get a ride? Go around to the other side. Yeah, they're not throwing nothing. But I did get some socks from them. Let me show you some of the things I got. Maybe you can use this, Chris. This is a tie. Okay?
Oh.
And look how nice it is.
I need that for my tux.
I think it's a tie. Oh, it has a zipper on the back. I wonder what you could do with it. I don't know.
No.
Okay, and then I got something else for you, Chris Franklin.
Looking a little light over here.
Oh, hey, how you I'm trying to clean up.
At least 2 bags by now. Come on.
Now it's challenging me. He's
a little
challenging
shade
me.
Do I need to help
baby.
you? Do I need to
Yes,
help you?
Sharice needs one of those big shack hats.
Big hat.
Yeah, I only got one, and this one's for me. So Sharice needs another one. There you go.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Good. Looking good.
But we need another one of these. So yeah, I'm working on it. Okay, but this is for you, Chris Franklin.
What is that?
I don't know what that
It's
is.
a wig. You need to wear it.
It ain't been on this big
Hold
head.
on, here's another one. Y'all got any
Here's
socks?
the Buccaneer.
Yes,
Hello,
the Buccaneer that has gone by.
Yeah, they moving fast, y'all. I don't want to get hurt now. Oh, thank you. That was so very kind.
Don't
okay,
get
some
keel
cups.
hauled.
You want some cups, Chris Franklin?
I'll take a cup. That wig is not going to fit my head.
Can y'all tell me about this float? What's
Yes.
Buccaneer all about?
We can tell you it premiered in 2018, has 110 riders, 4 units. It is 164 feet long, so I don't want you keel hauled and sucked underneath that Buccaneer.
Look, I don't have to tell you about this float depicts a pirate ship.
Yes.
It throws socks and
our
glass
history
beads.
and our history of Buccaneers,
Yes.
privateers.
Yes.
A very New Orleans and Louisiana themed float.
Yes, and it has some plush parrots that are on there. So
And socks. I see socks.
Well,
so
that's
I'm
one of
seeing
the main
socks.
things that they throw. So we do need to get some socks. I know that the riders always wait until they get inside of the convention center to save things for their friends and family for sure. We want to go to Devin Bartolotta right now. She's in the crowd, having a good time with everyone. Devin, your first Bacchus so far. You
How's it going?
fun?
Guys, I had no idea it was going to be this much fun.
Sure.
Who is allowed to have this much fun at work? All right, I'm here with Gracie and Molly. Gracie just said hello to her husband on the float. Yes. Is this you must have been excited to see him.
Yes. He bombed our daughter earlier today, but he's fine. I just told him not to throw anything to me.
You got to be gentle. These guys are like really coming down. What is the best thing you've caught tonight?
The best what?
The best thing you've caught tonight.
Honestly, this is the only thing I've caught tonight. So we've kind of avoided the beach so far, but
I know
it's cold on your hands.
That's very true. So this is your second time coming. Are you having a good time?
We are. We're having a great time. It's always so much fun. It's so much fun. Yeah.
It's so cool to be able to see the float this close up, right? It's a pretty unique angle to be able to see someone and say hello.
Right, exactly. And also it's good to see the people on the float because you normally don't see them with their mask on. So here you get to see actually their faces, which is really cool.
Good point, Molly. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a good time. We gotta get you guys some more throws. I feel like we gotta. I don't want to ruin your hairdo, but happy Mardi Gras. We'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Devin, thank you so much. Right now we have the Abramson Sci Academy Band. They are marching on down Abramson. And now let me tell you something. They call themselves the Beast from the East. I grew up on Reed Boulevard, right down the street from Abramson High School.
You did?
Very familiar with Abramson. And
But you didn't want to go to Abramson?
My mother, I went to Thurgood Marshall. Let me tell you something. Thurgood Marshall on Canal Street, which the building is still there. I believe the school is something different, but everyone at Thurgood Marshall was saying, we're going to Warren Easton down the street.
Oh,
and so
okay.
I wanted to go to school with my friends down the street.
No, I get it. You want to go with your friends.
Yeah, so we went to school with my friends down the street.
And thus
at
the
Warren
legacy
Easton.
has begun of
It
Therese
has.
Gibson.
It has, but I have to tell you, Thurgood Marshall was within walking distance from me, but
The Beast from the East.
Yes, the Beast.
How do you
from
not
the
go
East.
to the Beast from the East?
Let me.
What an intimidating title.
Well, you know what?
Love it.
I have to say, I'm very proud of this band. I'm very proud of the young men and women who are marching today. Their mascot is the Commodores. And let's take a live listen in. All right, you're listening to the Abramson Psy Academy band led by band director Johnny Van Buren. Fantastic young people. Beasts from the East. Over in New Orleans East, baby.
I love it.
And we have
the Commodores.
We have seen a number of bands. I believe we have maybe 36 bands that are going through for the parade this time.
You know what? Bacchus is not bringing any amateur
performances.
No. These are all top-notch performances.
I'm excited about this next flow. This is the New Orleans Ted Fest. Excited about this one because I went to the Ted Fest for the first time this year. Chris Franklin, when I tell you the food was fantastic. Yes. It's held at the Mary Queen of Vietnam Catholic Church in New Orleans East. There was Vietnamese food, there was culture, there was music, there was dancing. It was a true celebration, and it brought people of all kinds from around the city to New Orleans East.
And I love the fact that we can bring that Vietnamese community, and just as easily as all of our other cultures, the Vietnamese community since the 1960s and 70s is easily molded right into all other New Orleans cultures almost seamlessly. And you go out to the East, the Vietnamese community, so proud of their heritage, and it's so great that we were able to celebrate the Tet Festival and have them featured as a Bacchus float this year.
Yeah, Tet Fest, if you've never been to it, I highly recommend that you take a look over there next year that they do it. We went there on a beautiful day. I ate so much food.
Okay, you name a festival in Louisiana that you don't eat too much food.
Well, you know what? And I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek if you go to Tet Festival.
Yeah.
The amount of money that I've spent at other festivals, I've got double the amount of food that I would have spent for that money.
I like it.
The food was fantastic. Things I've never tried, things I've had before.
Be open to everything.
Oh, be open. You have to be open to it.
Booker T. Washington High School under the direction of Charles Jackson, the pride of Uptown.
Yes. All right, this school originally established in 1942, and it was the first vocational high school in New Orleans for black students. Let's take a
I love
listen
this.
in.
Louis Armstrong, when he reigned as Zulu, his ball was held in their auditorium.
Oh my goodness, that's history that you wanted
yes.
to claim to. Let's listen to their performance. right, you're looking live at the Booker T. Washington High School Band. They sound fantastic.
Yes.
And just one of the many bands that we have seen here.
I love all the music. I love the music.
The music has
that
been
makes
wonderful.
the parade. It always is a shame when certain parades have to be postponed or moved to a different date, and they say, yeah, the floats are going to ride, but the bands aren't going to be in it. It isn't the same.
It
isn't the same with the live
They
bands.
are the soundtrack right now.
It
and
is.
Leah
This is the
McNeil did a
soundtrack of Carnival.
fantastic series, and please go on WWL Plus to take a look at it, talking about the marching bands and how they provide the soundtrack to Carnival and the Carnival season. So let me say, we've been up here, we've been dancing the entire time.
it may not look like dancing, but we call it dancing.
Yes. Well, I look like dancing. I don't know what he's doing.
That's not fair.
All
right, before we go to break, we're kind of waiting for the next float. Just every shot that you see kind of wide, appreciate all of the colors and lights on all of the columns and the curtains. This is new this year from Blaine Kern III of what was put into, or Blaine Kern Jr., excuse me, of what was put into the Rendezvous decorations for this year. It is incredible, and they also have a third more lasers for the light show that just makes the Rendezvous so incredible.
Yes.
Again, we're going to be looking at the lights, listening to the music, and watching the floats as our Rendezvous 56 continues on WWL Louisiana.
All right, welcome back. Bacchus 56 Rendezvous inside the Morial Convention Center. You are taking a live look right now at the Madisonville Wooden Boat Festival. And I always said that this is my favorite river to pronounce, the Tchefuncte River.
The Tchefuncte?
That's the river that I like to pronounce when people come from out of town, and they always say they get tripped up on Chapatulas, and I say, well, say this river.
Yeah, good luck to you. My late father-in-law was a big into his boating, and he built a boat from scratch.
Wow.
He built a 3-cabin wooden boat from nothing, and he was featured twice at the Madisonville Wooden Boat Festival. Quick story, the first year they made him back into his spot. He didn't have a door on the back, so the next year he went and built himself a door on the back of his boat.
Wow.
So he could be positioned in the correct way. So been to the Wooden Boat Festival in Madisonville several times. Always gorgeous to see these handmade, handcrafted vessels that a lot of these captains, we'll call them, put a great deal of money and time and effort and love into.
If anything you get from the Bacchus Rendezvous and from the Bacchus Parade this year with this theme of fairs and festivals, you can go outside of the city of New Orleans and visit any festival or fair throughout the state of Louisiana that showcases a different part of our culture. And so I love the fact that we chose this theme.
I love it.
So that people, I suggest that people make a list. So that if they want to, you haven't gone to these festivals, you haven't tried.
Good
maybe
idea.
Try it out. Go outside of the city a little bit and check those festivals out because they're equally as fantastic.
This is a great calling card for all of these fantastic festivals. And again, this is just a small percentage of the number of Louisiana fairs and festivals that occur year-round.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The music continues. Walter Cohen High School Marching Band, the Marching Green Hornets in Central City. Let's take a listen.
Marching Green Hornets.
Marching Green Hornets. Don't get stung, baby. They were established in 1949, reorganized in 2011, and they have been fantastic, wonderful band in Central City and performing again in many carnival parades as our high school bands have been performing. These kids are busy.
These are not amateurs. Again, you got to bring your A game. If you're going to be a marching band in New Orleans, you've got to bring your A game.
You have to have
Otherwise,
it together.
You don't stand a chance. All right. I've never been to it. I've always wanted to go. The Natchitoches Christmas Festival. Now, I don't think we like to admit it in New Orleans, but Natchitoches is slightly older officially than New Orleans. They were founded back in 1714.
Yes.
However, Bienville and Iberville were at the mouth of the river coming up toward New Orleans in 1699. So maybe officially they're older than New Orleans, but, let's be real.
Yes. Oh, well, look, I have to say.
Here we go.
If you not, as someone who has lived in in North Louisiana, you grow to appreciate Natchitoches, and it's not just for the Christmas Light Festival that's there, which is fantastic and beautiful.
Right.
Natchitoches is known for their meat pies. They have a great scenery in that area.
It's a gorgeous city.
It is quite beautiful, and I spend a lot of wonderful times
beautiful.
in Natchitoches.
Yes.
Especially for the Christmas
Light
Light
Festival. A lot of close ties from New Orleans. I got to throw shade on somebody.
Oh, yeah, of course
Whether
you
it
do.
be high school or other cities.
This is a shady show. All right, look.
This show is nothing but shade tonight, folks. We apologize. We're sorry, not sorry here.
All right, they were throwing elf hats and plush reindeers, and the festival began in the 20s.
I didn't get an elf hat.
Whoa, Whitney. Where's your elf hat?
What did you get?
I didn't get an elf hat. I didn't know they had an elf hat on that
Go
float.
chase him down.
I'm not chasing down. I'm already starting to sweat. But I did get some socks with some Christmas lights on it, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, look.
I got you some cups, Chris Franklin. I know you like the cups.
I need a new cup for my drink.
You did? Okay, period.
Perfect.
All right.
Period, boo.
What, were you about to say something to me?
No.
Oh, okay.
We wanted to see what you caught.
Oh, did you see this cute hat here?
That's not going to fit me.
It's like going fishing or something.
Fitting in that?
Have you seen Chris
Don't
Franklin's
show me
hat?
hats.
There you go.
That's not going to, no. You bring it up here.
Perfect for you.
You bring that up here. That's not going to fit my head.
You said perfect for you, a clown hat.
No, I would, but not that small.
You're going to have to make it work, okay, baby? You're going to have to make it
I'll see
work.
what I can do.
What else?
Love you, baby.
Uh-oh, there's a band right here. I don't want to hurt nobody, but they got some, aren't these adorable?
Oh, look, Whitney,
Whoa,
I need some of them socks. You keep giving them to Chris. I need
I
socks.
got
getting
one.
Oh, yeah,
I got
that's all
one
he's
pair.
getting. I told him he doesn't get
She did. She told me one.
I got it. I'm going to get a pair for you, Sharice. There's a band behind you, baby. Be careful.
All right, please.
I'm going to send it back to y'all so that we don't get hit by the band.
All right, Whitney, you be careful down there.
All right, we don't want Sarah T. Reed High School to hit her.
No, not at all.
Because they're going to march right over Whitney.
I got to say, Sarah T. Reed High School Marching Band has always been fantastic. They're the sounds of Dynamite. You remember
That's
that?
your best Jimmy J.J. Walker?
Dynamite.
Dynamite! Come on.
Yours is much better than mine. Wait.
The Olympians of Sarah T. Reed, and you're going to give Dynamite lackluster Dynamite? Come on.
Dynamite.
No, you clap.
I can do it like you.
Dynamite! All right, my throat's out.
Oh, my goodness. Look, they're located in New Orleans. He's established in 1988. Sarah T. Reed High School Marching Band. We see him right there coming on through. And let me say, so far, it's been nothing but excitement, energy.
So
and it
much
seems
fun.
like as every float goes through.
Every float, every band.
Oh, it's been fantastic.
And you know what? I don't know if I could do that, considering we are at the end of what has been hours of marching.
Yeah.
Even longer preparing, getting ready. This isn't just they show up at 5 and start walking.
No.
This is way early in the morning, and the energy and enthusiasm and I don't know what the other word is for it, but just the excitement that these kids and the riders have, even as they're coming to the tail end of this, is fun.
And I'm glad that they prepare to come in here and have a good time. And the people who are coming to revel with us
Yes,
right now,
Devin.
Bacchus Rendezvousers. Devin Bartolotta joining us now live, and more people who are enjoying the festival. Well, I say the festival. Might as well say
it is a festival, but you know what?
Festival.
This should have its own float.
It certainly feels so. Everyone's necks are getting so much heavier by the minute out here, and all these lights and everything. All right, first we want to give a nice shout out to Bella, who is watching us live. That's Stacy's daughter. She said, "Are you guys live? My daughter's watching at home." So, are you guys having fun while Bella's at home?
The best time ever. Best time ever. We're with the Louisiana Fairs and Festivals Rain Frog Festival, honored honored to be invited.
Amazing. So what festival are you all representing today?
So the Rain Frog Festival, and they have a float decorated just for us.
Oh my gosh! So I guess this is
That is
the frog
ears.
Okay, wait. Tell me about this festival.
Okay, frog jumping. They dress up the frogs. Frog eating contest. Everything frog. Please come out second full weekend of May.
Awesome! Oh my gosh, that
Come
sounds amazing.
see me. I'm serious.
That sounds so much fun. Oh my gosh. Okay, but for tonight, you guys are living it up. Tell me about tonight.
The bands. I love it.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Was it cool seeing him?
Oh my gosh. It was amazing.
It's amazing because they had to make the throne so much bigger for him this year, and he really is larger than life.
Yeah, he's
Larger than life.
Amazing. All right, any other shout outs as we head into Mardi Gras?
Lexi Thibodeau and her sorority are at Church Point Mardi Gras.
All right, have fun. We got the Frog Festival coming up. All right, thank you ladies so much. Have a great time. We're going to send it back to you guys.
All right, thank you guys so much. We always love hearing about new festivals that are happening across Louisiana.
Well, the Rain Frog Festival, I love how the frogs are used as athletes, that they race them, they had them compete, but then they also eat them. That is the most Louisiana festival ever.
I had to stop for a second because if you watch WWL Louisiana, especially our news at 10 o'clock, which I hope that you do, Doug Mouton and Chris Franklin are always trying to figure out how they can eat every single animal that comes onto the show.
It goes back, if there's a history of bringing up animals doing something silly and then wondering how they would taste.
Oh my goodness, they're always wondering what it can taste. I tagged you in
because you know what, in
recently.
Louisiana we can eat just about everything.
I have to say that we're resilient in the sense of any food that's in front of people. Apparently they make it gourmet.
If it crawls or walks, we can eat it.
Oh my goodness, I don't know.
I will leave it at that. But yes, the Rain Frog Festival is fun, and you know it's funny, these small communities like Rain. I mean, that just goes to show you they are honored that their small town in southwest Louisiana are being honored by Bacchus,
right?
And being featured in this parade.
Yeah,
this small town, small festival is being honored in one of the premier New Orleans Mardi Gras parades that is seen around the world.
Bacchus is giving a master class in showcasing the state of Louisiana. And this is one that's a classic for the Bacchus parade, the Bacchusaurus.
Yes, this is one of the oldest, 1975. So can you imagine in 1975?
Yeah.
No internet, 3 channels, and here comes a dinosaur rolling down the street.
You're familiar with that, huh?
Not 75.
Okay, well, I don't know.
I know I'm a little older than you, but
it sounded familiar.
Let's be reasonable here.
The Bacchusaurus is the second signature float along with King Kong, and the green dinosaur carries crew in a wine cask.
And you know what's funny, as large as the float is, it only carries 14 riders.
14 people.
Very small, limited number of riders.
Man, it's kind of high up if you look at it.
You are high up if you watch it. We're kind of showing it from a little bit higher, but my son Henry was excited when he saw that in the background of a couple of my live shots from Friday. As per all boys, he loves dinosaurs.
Oh my goodness!
And he saw a dinosaur.
My nephew
but he was a little disappointed it was a brontosaurus and not a T-Rex or a raptor. But I said it's still cool.
Well, we're impressed that he knows the difference between the dinosaurs.
All 6-year-old boys know all dinosaurs. Your nephew SJ will have them all memorized in a couple of years, guaranteed.
Me tell you, SJ is in love with all things dinosaurs, race cars, Mario Kart, you name it.
Dragons.
Baby. Yes, anything that I'm unfamiliar with.
Sonic the Hedgehog, that's a new thing now.
Yes, it is. He has a Sonic the Hedgehog hat at
Sonic
home.
It was popular when I was little. And now Sonic is back. Sonic is not in his parade, by the way.
All right, we continue our Bacchus 56 Rendezvous coverage. You're looking at the Warrensville Heights High School Band. Let's take a listen in.
Oh, we were dancing.
Oh, I'm breathing hard. We were dancing a little bit.
All right, can we go to break? Because I can't breathe. We were trying to dance, and it's winded me.
Ooh, that was the Warrenville Heights. They were from Warrenville Heights, rather.
Warrenville Heights, Ohio.
Yeah.
But they sounded great, and one of their alum.
Arsenio Hall.
Arsenio Hall.
I used to. Yeah, my parents, they can't find the tape, but there is a tape of me saying Arsenio Hall.
You knew something was wrong if your kid was still awake when Arsenio came on. It's like when I was a kid and David Letterman and I was still awake, something was going on.
That meant something was going on with
something
me.
Something was going on at the house. All right, we just saw Float 19, the Louisiana Renaissance Festival, which is held in Hammond. It's over 6 weekends in November and December.
Yes, I mean, and it has more than 600 artisans and entertainers. They throw hats and socks, and I'm still waiting on Whitney to give me that really big hat. I saw her. She got hers.
You saw 2 pairs of socks.
Yeah,
so
I'm just saying.
You should get something.
I feel like I should get a little something. Whitney, she's down there having a good time right now.
All the way from Memphis, Tennessee is the Craigmont High School Marching Tsunami of Sound. Ooh, now that is a good name.
Oh, the Marching Tsunami of Sound. I like that.
I like this
Craigmont High School Band. And they also, we talk about the schools in New Orleans who all participate in the carnival parades, but we can't leave out the people who come from out of town to get a taste of this. So let's give you a taste of it and listen in. Switch.
All right, fresh off of the float is Clark Brennan of the crew of Bacchus. Clark, how was the ride this year?
The ride was awesome. The crowds were amazing. Shaq, our king, went crazy. He loved it. And I know the city loved him as well.
Yes.
And so I'm just very, very happy.
Something we talked about on Friday, how great was it with this theme of Louisiana Fair and Festivals, showcasing all things Louisiana, the culture, and then they have Shaq as the reigning monarch.
And I got a chance to talk to him last night about that, and just said, man, you are the perfect fit for this theme. And truly, we knocked it out of the park with the theme.
It was perfect.
But Bacchus has always been about trying to bring the focus to our city and our state.
Yes.
When my dad started in 1968, it was to bring people to the city.
Yes.
And so anytime we can do that, we're going to do it. And this year was awesome. And I just loved having all the queens from the different festivals.
Oh, that was an
They
icing on the cake.
were ecstatic. They were beautiful. And their crowns just lit up with the lighting.
Yes.
And so it was great. Shaq had a great time. The crowd had a great time.
Yes.
It was a success.
I have to say.
And it was safe.
And it was
Yes.
safe. Good.
Thank
Yes,
God.
absolutely.
Of course, that's all we can ask for. I have to say, you guys have gotten a reputation for finding the most dynamic king Bacchuses. What goes into a person you select? You know, what brings you to select Shaq?
I chose Shaq
Yes.
because of the type of person that he is. In Bacchus, there's no money involved. There's no contracts involved. It's strictly a handshake, and I want to honor our kings for what they do in their community, what they do in the world as good people.
Yes.
And so that's my first and foremost box to check. And of course, Shaq checked them all. Because he
Yes.
does go around the world, and he's an ambassador around the world, and he just is a great man.
I was saying that we were talking a little bit earlier about Shaq, and I say outside of being a national NBA star, he has become internationally
Sure.
renowned for
Sure.
all of the things that he does in the community. Is there a Bacchus king, that a story that you can remember that has been one of your favorite memories to have in dealing with Bacchus?
Well, there's no doubt for me was to ride as a page with Bob Hope.
No kidding.
Yeah, wow.
So
Oh, so wait, you're aging yourself here. We're going back to the days of Bob Hoop.
I made the big 6-0 this year. I made the big 6-0.
I was going to
Looking
peg
good,
you at
baby.
42, 43, so now you're aging yourself with Bob Hope. At
So-
least it wasn't Danny Kaye. Not
Yeah.
quite that old.
Danny Kaye was in 68, so what was that? 5 years
I'm
later.
trying to help you
5
out. I'm
years
trying to
later.
help you out, Clark.
But for me, Bob Pope was just awesome. He
Right.
was my king. And these
Right.
pages, their name goes on the list the day they're born.
Yes.
And so for them, they remembered their king, as I did. But being at Brennan's restaurant, and he used to come with his wife a couple times a year. So I got to keep up with him over the years. And he was just a great person, a great man, another ambassador to the world.
Right.
And he was a great, great person and a great Bacchus.
What stories do you think these pages are going to have riding with Shaq?
Well, the funniest one was I was talking to the pages on Friday before y'all did the show, and I'd ask them all, you going to teach Shaq how to play basketball? and most of them said, no, they're timid. One little son of a gun said, no, he already knows how to play basketball.
Oh, goodness. Like, you don't teach Shaq.
Their eyes are this big, man.
Oh,
Yes.
I
Their
bet.
eyes are this big.
I bet, especially this year.
They're going to carry that memory with them for the
Oh,
rest
absolutely.
of their lives.
There's no way they can't.
I have to say, Devin Bartolotta did a story about the history of the crew of Bacchus and, of course, the Bacchus Rendezvous. And there was a noted history of making sure that Bacchus was opened up to people who were visiting the city of New Orleans.
Sure,
You
sure.
guys are really focused still on that because it seems like as every float goes by, it's more and more people that are coming into the convention
Sure,
center.
sure. Well, we have a party of 10,000 here, so it's only members and their guests. So it is a private party, but a lot of our members are from other parts of the country.
Right.
And so again, when my dad started with his buddies, my Uncle Dick and the rest of the gang, it was about bringing people to the city of New Orleans.
Right.
And so when Bacchus did that with a celebrity king, it brought the spotlight to our city.
Yes.
And truly, for what they did in 1968 and what you see today, and the economic engine that Mardi Gras is, that was a success.
Your dad changed the whole Mardi Gras culture.
He did.
I mean,
He did.
what is that like on your shoulders to continue that
Well,
tradition?
It's huge shoes to fill.
It is.
But you know, this is my 11th year as a captain, and you can't do it alone. You have to have great board members, great office staff, great volunteers, and get it done. And so, yes, I am the leader, but I can't do it alone.
I have to say Bacchus has become one of the premier parades for the carnival season. People always, I've seen a scale of what they look forward to, and this was always part of the top 3 parades that they look forward to.
Sure.
Do you guys think about that and how you can get bigger and better every year while
We're not-
also honoring the past?
So, it's not bigger.
Yes.
We're only 1,600 members, which is big.
That's
Yeah,
a big,
yeah.
That's a
But-
big crew.
But we're not growing.
Yes.
So you're not
My
looking,
focus.
You're not looking to expand.
No, no.
Oh, okay.
My focus is to bring service, efficiency, and the perfect experience to my members. And so in the hospitality industry, I want to give back to my members.
Right.
And so they pay dues to come here, and they entertain their guests as well. So for me, it's all about turnkey, 100% first class, and that's how we do it.
Yes.
Now, one day when I'm gone and they want to expand it, that's fine. But until then, we're not growing. We're just making it more efficient, better service, better food, better drink, better throws. This year, which was a big deal, I saw this difference. Each float had its own throws.
Yes.
Right.
We had over 250 different throws. And so you could see, people were, like doubloons now, you throw them, they don't even catch them. But they want socks.
Oh, yes.
They want light
You've
up
been calling
items.
for socks up here.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. Socks, light up items, hats, T-shirts. And so that's our vision to move forward, is to truly have throws that people can use year round.
Right. It's been fantastic, though. I've seen some very unique throws. Our Whitney Miller is downstairs. I've been trying to get the hat.
Look, I just saw a
The
big
big
hat.
The shaq
I just
hat?
saw a big hat
shaq
walk by. I'm not going to
Look,
take it from him.
There's
There's the big hat.
There they are.
There's
They
the big
got
hat.
the shaq hats. I mean, I've been trying to grab a hat, and I'm like,
Oh,
that
wait,
is
Whitney,
the thing.
what'd you get?
We get some. Oh, as we speak, we get some more right here.
Soap?
These are the socks.
Socks,
Oh, my goodness. This is soap and socks.
and that's Bacchus socks. That's a different pair of socks.
Oh, my goodness.
This is like first to you here.
It's like, got to take a look at
Oh,
these.
these are
Oh,
softies.
this is the Orange Festival.
Oh, I
These are
love those.
softies.
Oh, yeah, well, you take these. I'm taking those.
Oh, I
baby.
want the Orange
These
Festival.
are
Blackman's
these
Orange
are the ones
Festival.
I wear
Yeah.
When you're
at
at
the
home,
house.
with
Yes.
your pajamas on, that's what you
That's
put
the
on.
one.
I'm going
ones I
to change
wear.
into these socks in a minute.
And a Bacchus spun.
Yes.
I got to say, you guys have been so welcoming to us, and we love coming to the Bacchus Rendezvous, and especially getting this vantage point of the parade.
I think our partnership together has been great.
Yes.
We enjoy it, and we hope that we can continue it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. All right.
Okay.
Clark Brennan.
Thank you.
Hail
Thank you.
Bacchus.
Love
Thank you so much.
Y'all be good.
Hail Bacchus.
Hail Bacchus.
Good to see you,
Hail
Clark.
Bacchus. Thank y'all
Good
so
to
much.
see you,
Stay with
Clark.
us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
All right, we are back right
We're
now.
putting in an order for something. Sorry about that.
A food order. We're keeping
Yeah,
it
it was food.
We
Yes.
have Mamu behind us. Mamu, oh, look. Now, come on. You speak more Cajun. What is this? The Mamu
Are you
Korean?
serious?
Come on now.
Career de Mardi
All right,
Mardi
now
Gras? Career?
Now don't sit here and tell.
Career. Mamu Career de Mardi Gras.
Now don't sit here and tell me
De Mardi-
anything.
I'm not French.
I'm not
I'm
either.
English and Irish. I got a little bit of French
You
and
should
German,
know this,
but not
though.
enough.
Look, he's going to sit here and say anything about Mamu Career de Mardi Gras, which I've been to Mamu before.
Yes.
And actually have some family out there.
Then you should know.
I know
You're putting
Mamu.
it on me.
I know Mamu, but let's lower our expectations
All
for
right,
me on
all right.
everything else.
This is the traditional Cajun Mardi Gras.
Yes, it dates back to medieval France, and I know that you've probably seen it. Notably, Anthony Bourdain used to talk about going to Mardi Gras, Cajun Mardi Gras over in Mamu.
This is my favorite tradition of this. This is where they chase the chicken.
They chase the chickens.
This is where they chase the chicken. And I believe this float, one of the throws that I was able to get on Friday morning was a little chicken. So I'm assuming it was from the chasing the chicken at Mamu.
That's what I'm assuming. Right now we have a band here from Laurel, Mississippi. Let's take a listen in. right, the bands continue, and this is I gotta say, this is one of the floats for one of my favorite.
Not necessarily a fair or festival, but it's actually that's why we placed our order. This is for
Tales of the
Cocktail.
Tales of the Cocktail is an event that happens during the summer here, so I guess you could say this is during the slow months, but the Tales of the Cocktail
you're right. It's during the summer.
It's extremely successful. Founded in 2002, and it has events. Mostly, I know that you have people who like cocktails and you have people who make them, and this one is geared towards bartenders. Well, you're somewhat of a bartender. Speaking of a
Clark
bartender,
Brennan is bringing us some cocktails.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Clark.
Bless you. Cheers. Hail Bacchus.
Hail Bacchus.
Hail Bacchus.
All right. As we have a cocktail brought over here, Tales of the Cocktails. If you've not experienced this event, and you have friends who are in the hospitality industry, which we all do, this is an event that is a premier event. Thousands from around the world have had friends from all over America who come to New Orleans for Tales of the Cocktails.
We are a hospitality city.
Absolutely.
So this is what we were about.
This is one of the premier events that are happening in the city. So, of course, they're throwing martini glasses.
Wait, no, I thought you were
Light
going
up
to say
martini glasses.
I thought you were going to say they're throwing martinis. I do want to highlight, as we were chatting with Bacchus captain Clark Brennan, we did kind of go past the Plaquemines Parish Orange Festival float. We also had the Baca Gator.
Yeah,
which
that's
is one of their
a classic
floats.
signature
That's one
float.
of the United States Navy band. The Festival of the Bonfires.
Okay.
For folks that are river parishes, making their way for Papa Noel. So they had that featured, as well as the band, the Young Audiences of Louisiana. Just wanted to highlight those folks that all came through.
It's so many things that are going through, and we're taking right now a look at another classic float. This is the Baca Kong.
And again, what was interesting is you look back at Devin's piece of the history.
Yeah.
This was only 3 years after they started rolling when King Kong was a featured float. So that goes back to 1972, older than you.
Yes, much older than me, but you are about what and what?
Okay, you stop that. It's still older than me. So King Kong, 72, Queen in 73. And they didn't bring Baby Kong in until 82, and then they were all combined just in 2018.
Yeah, it was united as a 133-foot-long tandem float for Crew's 50th anniversary. That was in 2018. And they throw those Kong-sized cups and those metallic medallions. I wonder if Whitney Miller is down there.
I need a Kong-sized hat.
I've been asking for this hat for a minute. And I'm not saying anything. Whitney has done some amazing work.
She has done some great work. I got 2 pairs of socks. That's twice as many as I got last year. So she's working hard.
Whitney is down there working hard for us, but we got to get this big hat and this King Kong hat. All right, that's the tandem floats that we're talking about there.
So Baby Kong right in the middle, Mama Kong at the end, putting on her lipstick.
I mean, it's fantastic that we have all of these people, and I have to say, being up here on this riser, we have a unique vantage point. Watching all of the floats go by, watching the people that are coming in. Everyone is in a celebratory mood right now.
That's what Clark was saying. We had no incidents on the road, which is
what we pray for.
Thank God we didn't. But Carnival, it just puts everybody in a good mood.
It does.
It puts everybody in such a fun mood.
Yes, it does. It puts everyone in an amazing mood, and everyone's having a good time. Now, Whitney, we want to go over to Whitney.
Okay, what does Whitney have?
I just got to say.
We're only going to Whitney if she's got something.
Whitney, what you got?
I got y'all some hats. Look, I was told by somebody, them big hats are hard to come by, baby. They told me I asked, but I got these 2 for y'all, these 2 hats right here. And let's see what's happening on this float. What's this float called, y'all? I don't know, but how y'all doing? Throw me something, mister. Sharice, he asking about you, Sharice. She's up there. Sharice,
wait.
You got one of those big hats for Sharice? He said he don't have no hat, baby.
Oh, he's lying. He's lying.
He's
saving it for someone.
Look, but he did ask for Sharice, and where's Sharice at? Okay, well,
look for the bright lights.
What am I, chopped liver? Where's Sharice? I got you a wig, baby. This a clown wig, but you're not a clown. This is just very cute.
Not
cute.
at all. Used to be back in my 20s. So we've all grown.
Baby, right. I can clown around just a little bit myself. You know what I'm saying? But I really am. I've been asking about the big hat. I know you really want it.
I saw a couple of guys behind us, and I almost grabbed it, but I thought, no,
that
better
would
not.
be mean. Don't do
No,
that.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay, well, I'll just let y'all wear mine.
Yes. We have to
Not
try.
quite the same.
I'll let y'all wear mine, but I'll send it back to y'all. Y'all come back to me in a little bit and we'll see if we find it. What'd you
That's
think?
the only hat that can fit Chris Franklin's.
Okay, you know
well,
what?
me and Chris both got a big head, okay? I'll send it back to y'all. Come back to me in a little
Whitney's
bit.
got a cute size head. I have a monstrously large, medically questioned size head.
All right, well, we're going to talk about that and more as we continue the Bacchus
That'll be for another
56th
show.
Rendezvous. Look, we're having a good time. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to Bacchus 56th Rendezvous here in the Morial Convention Center.
Yeah.
It has been a fun night. The floats are moving quick. It's funny.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for the last almost decade.
Yeah.
Some years they move, some years they take their sweet time coming in.
You know, I have to say, this carnival season, there hasn't been a major holdup.
No.
With a lot of the parades that are happening, is specifically.
Knock on wood, we have
knock
not
on
had
wood.
any issues.
Knock on wood.
We got 2 days to go.
But Bacchus actually has moved at it feels like a record pace here.
They are
They're
moving
doing
it along.
Really good. Earlier, we were talking to the person who threw me something. That was the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage float.
Oh, okay.
Of course, you know, we talk about the Jazz Festival. That is a fantastic float. Jazz Fest coming up April 24th. All
2 weekends.
April 24th.
2 big weekends.
Through May 4th. It was established
long
in the 70s. And it was actually held initially across the street for where we are currently, the WWL Studios in Congo Square. And it just grew tremendously. Duke Ellington.
Kind of big.
Mahalia Jackson, Fats Domino. I mean, everyone that you can think of performed and headlined at that festival.
And Devin Bartolotta back on the floor interviewing some of the fan. Okay, who do you have now, Devin?
All right. I keep finding the people with the biggest piles of beads. And Stanley over here is shining bright tonight. Tell me about what we got, the flair.
So actually, I've got a lot of beads here, and it's so much fun here. I'm having a great time so far. And I'm just loving the experience. It's amazing, and I'm having a great time, you know?
Awesome. You said you're here with your girlfriend and her family, right?
Yes, ma'am. I have my girlfriend here with me. She's having an amazing time. She looks very beautiful today, and all time, I'm having a great time.
Do you have a favorite float? It is so amazing to see them this close up, right?
So I actually do. I really love the Orange Festival float. It's really beautiful. It has a lot of beautiful colors, and it's just an amazing view for everyone here, you know?
And I know you have a pile of other throws because right now my husband is guarding it so that no one takes it. What do you got in that pile?
Yes, ma'am. We've got a big pile. You know, once they see you, they throw you a lot of stuff, and it's really amazing here, honestly. It's really great. It's a great experience.
Awesome. All right, you got big Mardi Gras plans?
Let's do it. We got Mardi Gras plans. We're going to every parade we possibly can, and we're going to have as much fun as we possibly can to safe, you know?
We'll sleep next weekend, right?
Yes, ma'am. We'll see y'all next weekend. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so
have a
much,
great day.
Stanley.
Thank you.
All right. We'll send it back to you guys. People are having a great time down here.
All right.
And very polite gentleman.
Oh, yes. Very polite.
Again, we're having fun. This is a lively, fun crowd.
All right, right now we have another band that is passing by. This is Woodlawn High School Band. This is Woodlawn over in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A lot of Southern University Jags came from Woodlawn High School, which has also
Who went to Southern again?
Band. Oh, me.
Okay, I just wanted to put.
My mom.
I didn't know. You mentioned
dad.
Southern a couple of times.
Well,
I didn't know.
I mean, can we ever get tired of greatness? I'm just saying.
You're not going to let me.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. All right, now we don't have to tell you what this one is about. Louisiana Cattle Festival is one I've never been to.
Go up to Abbeville.
This is a float that is dedicated to the Louisiana Cattle Festival in downtown Abbeville.
All right, this is where you're going to go to a Fado Dough.
Fado Dough.
You're going to go a little more Cajun.
I know a little bit about that.
A little more Cajun in Abbeville.
Couldn't say that other word, but I know this one.
You didn't know that other French word for mamu,
Yeah,
but you know a
this
fado-do.
one, yes.
All right, this is coming up in October, between October 3rd and 5th. This started in 1949. So if you didn't think we had cattle in Louisiana, you thought it was all Texas and out west. No, sir.
No, this
we
is
have it here.
Texas. Woo! We gonna hold them.
What?
This is Beyonce.
Cattle?
No.
What?
This is
Beyonce
the Texas
what?
Hold'em song. Never mind. I don't know why I even tried.
What?
I don't know what.
Who?
Chris doesn't even
What are
know
we
what
talking
I'm
about?
talking about. You're talking about.
I knew more about Bob Hope than I do Beyonce. I'm an old soul, folks.
Well, we're gonna stick to talking about the cattle
No, look,
festival.
I gotta say, with those longhorns, I guarantee people along the route trying to throw beads to hook them on those horns.
Yes, they are.
And we're not talking about the University of Texas. They were trying to hook the horns.
Yes. I have to always participate in something that's a rib eating contest, a
Ooh.
cattle show. There's a street dancing contest, a fado-do, and much more. Food, drinks, arts, and crafts.
You had me at rib eating.
Yes, they're throwing hand puppets.
Really?
Yes, it's pretty awesome.
I didn't get any.
All right, the band you're listening to right now, that is Kip Central City Academy Band. Around 100 students that participate, established in 2007.
These are the sounds of royalty.
Let's take a listen in. We got another float coming up. Doug Mouton doing pretty good down
If you
there.
didn't hear from Doug Mouton,
Yes.
the Festival International de Louisiane, which is in downtown Lafayette.
Yeah, it's coming up in April 23rd through the 27th. It is the largest international music fest in the country. Wow.
I did not know that.
You know, the showcasing of these festivals through these
I love it.
floats,
I love it.
It teaches us a little something about what's happening throughout Louisiana, not just in Southeast Louisiana.
Right.
And so I hope that everyone takes note of this so that they can get a trip, get in that car and take a day trip down there to visit.
Sometimes we might have our New Orleans blinders on and we're just focused on things near the house.
Yeah.
But we have so many great festivals not too far away, just down the street in Lafayette. So in late April, head out to Lafayette for the largest international music festival in the U.S.
All right, founded in 1987, and now what is coming by, Kip Central City Academy Band. Let's take a listen in.
All right, all things strawberry
Yes.
is Float 29, the Ponchatoula Strawberry Festival. That's going to be coming up in mid-April.
Yeah, this is actually a big favorite for a festival.
There goes Whitney.
All right, Whitney, catch us something good.
Get some. Well, I don't need socks. I got the socks.
Yes. You know, the Ponchatoula Strawberry Festival is one that is so popular, and my family on my mother's side is over in Tangelo Parish, and I have to say Ponchatoula Strawberry Festival is something that they've always looked forward to. And when we were kids, growing up in New Orleans, that was something that we always took field trips to, but they celebrate our area strawberry farmers. You know, it's the largest free harvest festival in the state.
You know, as a kid driving out there to go pick strawberries, it felt like it was the longest drive ever as a kid. It's not that far. It's less than an hour away from downtown New Orleans.
It is.
Music, carnival rides, 40 booths, a lot of, you know what? They've got like a strawberry smoothie and then a daiquiri that is so good.
I got to tell you, the strawberry wine is fantastic there.
Oh, and there's strawberry pie, all the strawberry desserts.
Yes.
Now
I didn't know
strawberry.
there were so many things that you can do with
You
strawberry.
can do a lot with a strawberry.
I mean, look, the Strawberry Festival is certainly
We won't get into everything you can do with a strawberry, but there's a lot you can do with a strawberry.
All right.
I'm just going to leave it.
This is a look right now. Our next band, Kip East Middle School Band.
Middle school? These guys are good.
This is a middle school band with director Johnny Thomas, and they've marched in 9 parades this season.
These kids are tired.
Yeah, well, you know what?
But you wouldn't know it.
It's not over yet, baby. This is what is it? It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It is.
This is the Mighty Marching Eagles. Let's take a live listen in.
That was the Mighty Marching Eagles from Kip East Middle School in New Orleans East.
Oh, gosh.
Doug.
You heard from Doug there. Mighty Marching
You know where
Eagles.
Doug is.
Kip East Middle School Band. And, you know, we heard about this festival earlier.
Yes, we heard from some of the folks involved with the festival that were invited here by Bacchus that Devin was able to find the Rain Frog Festival. It's coming up in May 9th and 10th. Rain, if you didn't know, the frog capital of the world. Apparently, they had a bullfrog exporting business. I'm not sure what they were. I guess for food, like frog legs.
I wonder how that works.
I don't know. But they race the frogs, they dress the frogs, and then they eat the frogs.
Oh, goodness. Well, this is something that you would like.
What, eating another animal?
Yeah, well, you always talk about that.
Well, we always wonder how they're going to taste. And,
oh, my God.
You know,
frog
Rain,
leg
Louisiana,
contest. Would
Southwest
you do it?
Louisiana. Yeah, I've had frog legs many times.
Yeah,
Delicious.
yeah.
They're delicious.
You know, I'm not
It's kind of a
yet.
combination of like another seafood, another fish.
Yeah.
People will say it tastes like chicken. It doesn't taste like chicken. It has its own taste.
Yeah.
But they're very good.
Yeah, I mean, they have a frog racing.
There's
frog
always a question in
jumping.
Lent is whether or not a frog or alligator considered seafood, but we're going to go with it. As a Catholic, it's seafood.
Yeah, the rules of Lent always are different. There's also a best dress frog contest.
Oh, we're hearing the Pope said no, it's not. But I think the Archbishop said yeah. Oh, the Pope said it's okay to eat? Oh, good. Well, then I'm eating. I'll continue.
All right, our next band coming in
Moving
here.
along.
This is Mildred. What?
Ah!
We got a break. Wait. We got
Pair.
a break-in from Whitney
We're
Miller.
breaking news.
Woo!
Breaking news. No, wait. Oh, you need a pair? Oh, you got a pair.
We've gotten like 4 or 5 pairs of socks.
We'll save them for Tori.
We got
Look,
you
wait,
to our
wait,
producer, Tori. What do we have here?
Look how cute these are.
Oh, these are the frog socks. Oh,
Look at
my
these.
goodness. Whitney, thank you so much. Okay, this is really great.
I
Unique
love
Bacchus
these.
throws, and we heard earlier that every single float had
Yes.
its own throw. So we have a Bacchus
The Frog
The
Festival.
Frog Rainbow
I love
Festival
these.
socks. All right, we're going to
these are
inspect
so
these
cool.
socks. This is the Mildred Osborne Charter School Band. It's led by band director Jay Jones Jr. Let's take a listen in.
MOB, Roar of the East.
This is a festival that I've gone to before. This is over in Independence. So Whitney down there working for us. The Independence Sicilian Heritage Festival. As of course a lot of people do know, we do have a huge Sicilian culture down in southeast Louisiana. It celebrates Sicilians who settled in Tantwell Parish.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I have this conversation with Devin Bartolotta, our resident Italian.
Yeah.
And her family originated from northern Italy. Those immigrants actually went up toward the New York, Ellis Island. Southern Italian, Sicilian came through the port of New Orleans, which is why we have a big Sicilian, Southern Italian community, and why we have a lot of their food. And I think Whitney is down there trying to get socks or maybe a cannelloni neck pillow. Cannoli. What did I say? What did I say?
You said a
cannelloni, not the same thing.
Cannoli. Whitney, are you?
I am not Italian.
We need to see if we can get one of these cannoli neck pillows, Whitney. What
We
can
got
grab?
we got a pepper.
For a cannoli neck pillow.
We got a pepper.
Oh, wait. Oh, they do have. Hold on.
Oh wait, here she goes. She sounds mad.
Chasing them down.
She's mad.
She's chasing.
Oh, there she goes.
Whitney's right down the street. You know, Whitney Will is perfect for the job.
Oh my God. We need to get her a bike next time or skates.
Get her one of those neck pillows.
Oh wait. Look behind you, Whitney. Behind you. Whitney, somebody's got one.
She may have a neck pillow. I think he's trying to operate you. Oh, wait, we're working something out.
Whitney needs a handler.
Whitney has somebody working it out. I gotta say, Whitney is this job beat from me.
If there was a person born for this job, it was Whitney Miller.
Whitney, oh, she's good. Let's see if she gets it.
Look, she's
Come
got.
on, Whitney.
Come on,
Grand
Whitney.
Marshall to push for
Get
her.
a cannoli, not a cannelloni. My apologies.
Oh,
she got it.
Got it.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes. She got it.
She ran for it and she got it, Whitney.
Let's end the broadcast now. How do we top that?
This is for Devin Bartolotta.
Oh.
She owes me a drink.
Oh my goodness, Whitney. You know what? You are deserving of that neck pillow.
I ran my whole
shirt's not a cannelloni.
Thank you.
Oh my
Shirt's not a
goodness.
cannelloni.
Deserving.
Oh my goodness.
Well, look, Whitney, we're gonna give you a second to catch your breath. We're gonna give you a second to catch your breath while we get to the
dedication
last float.
to her WWL coworkers.
Oh, Whitney has been beat by a long shot. This is the last float.
The last float
of the Bacchus Parade. The Bridge City. I've done this for this fair. The Bridge City Gumbo and Crowley Rice Festival. A float dedicated. It was formed. The Gumbo Fest was formed in Bridge City in the 70s, and the Rice Fest. It's coming up October 16th and through the 19th, and it started in the 30s.
The Rice Festival did. The Gumbo Fest started in 1973. Again, this is in West Wego. Second full weekend of October. Then at Crowley, it's coming up the weekend October 16th through the 19th.
Yeah. It is one of the oldest and largest
I can't catch my breath from watching Whitney.
Hey, look, we were all running with Whitney, by the way.
We were all, the city of New Orleans was running with Whitney.
You've got to give Whitney
The best part of that was the various camera angles we were able to capture Whitney running to catch that cannoli.
Guys, you have to give
Not
Whitney,
a cannelloni, my apologies.
You keep saying cannelloni.
I misread my card. I misread it.
Oh my goodness! Look, we've been having a good time. You saw Whitney Miller running around out here. The band
best part of the show.
Going. Devin Bartolotti's having a good time. Whitney's over there. She's running marathons.
She may still be running. I don't know. The Kong family's going back behind us, making another round.
And as that all is happening, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
All right, hail Bacchus as the parade here in the convention center. The parade itself starting to wind down. He is really just getting started as the bands have not even made their way onto the stage, which goes until unofficially 3 a.m.
Yeah, we have party.
It's a long night.
Is about to start. The parade has gone, but of course the music is about to kick up. Hopefully we can hear from the king of Bacchus, Shaquille O'Neal. Maybe he'll get on the stage. We'll see.
Be whipped after this ride.
It's a long ride. It's a long ride. Now, Chris, this is your first time. You stepped out of the MC stage.
My first time as hosting, and again, I hope to God, Eric Paulson, All right, hail Bacchus. We heard officially from this year's MC, Doug Mouton. The last of the floats have gone through, so as the floats kind of clear the parade route, they'll remove the barricades, let everyone fill in, and then the party gets started.
Yes, the party's going to get started. We have performers that are coming up on the stage right now. Everybody getting, it was a little empty right here, but people have jumped off of the floats.
You're
They're
right.
coming into the stands. They're getting into their seats because they're getting ready for the real jam.
Those
Now,
1,700 men are now coming
Yes.
off the floats to join their family,
Yes.
spouses, and join the rest of the party.
all right, Chris, you obviously stepping in duty.
It
How
was
you
it
feel?
was a different experience. It was so much fun. And again, I pray to God, Eric is looking down on me and said, all right, you did a good job. Or maybe okay.
Yes.
You
You got to say it how Eric said.
You did okay, Chris. He's never going to give you a compliment. But you know what? A half compliment from a full-on, I love you, man.
Yeah.
He's not going to tell me that. He will say, you did all right. So I'm hoping that's what Eric is thinking right now.
I know that he's so certainly proud, and he's certainly with us. Whitney Miller, Devin Bartolotta, they're together right now. It was Devin's first
She got her.
time. And she got it for Devin.
Got her cannoli.
It's a happy ending. This is the only throw I wanted, and Whitney Miller got it for me. She chased after that float.
And then one of them didn't want to give me one. Want to give me the cannoli. That's all she wanted. Give me a cannoli. We should put like a soundtrack. Dun, 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 you know, like when you're running slow.
Yes.
Come on now.
It's so sweet. We got a little pistachio. We got
Okay, I don't know nothing about cannolis. So
Let Devin tell you. Let Devin.
delicious. Now I'm ready for a nap.
Okay, period. And is this a lobster or a crawfish? Let's call it a crawfish.
It looks like a crab.
Oh, a crab. It's a crab.
I think it's a crab.
Baby. I don't
Period.
know.
I don't know. At this I had a good time.
It could be
though.
any of those.
It's so much fun.
I had a blast tonight. All those people you were talking to, the one guy that stood out to me, he said, you asked him how he was, he's like, well, this is my girlfriend and she looks beautiful tonight. I said, that's how you win.
She wasn't even there. She was in the bathroom.
I know that's right. Shout out your girlfriend, whoever you are, good man,
That
Savannah.
is a smart man. That is a smart man.
But last little note.
Okay.
The bag is full, honey.
Oh,
my God.
The bag is full. Don't even look at that, Cherise. Don't.
Because I didn't get
That's
one,
mine.
so it
I'm gonna
is
let
what
you
it
wear it
is.
though. I'm gonna
I
let you
know.
wear it.
Let me-
Yeah, I'll let you try it on. Yeah, take a picture. You know.
All right.
We
Whitney,
love y'all.
Devin, thank
Happy
you. We're
Mardi
glad
Gras.
that you
This is
guys
so
had a good
fun.
time. And I'm glad
So much
you had
fun.
so much
Cheers.
fun. I have to say, Chris, it has been, and I've said this before, it has been a trying year in the city of New Orleans.
It has been.
And so every single moment we're searching for that joy, those moments where we can laugh with each other and
Right.
enjoy each other and dance together and parade together, and it all means something to us. So for us to all be here in this moment, I couldn't be more grateful. We've had a good time.
We've had a blast.
We've had a blast, baby.
The locals needed this more so than at any other point, I think, in recent years. We needed this kind of a carnival to go. We got 2 days left, so let's make it fun. Let's
Yes.
make it safe.
Make it fun.
We have so far gone through carnival season on a positive note. Let's continue that right through Ash Wednesday. But we've had a blast here at the Bacchus 56th Rendezvous and Parade. We hope you as well enjoyed your time just watching this in the comfort of your homes. We love y'all. See you back tomorrow night.